is up, everybody? I'm Sean.
And I'm Tom. And
And
we're the Block
Block
Bros.
Ooh, okay.
Mm.
It's getting slicker. It's getting
Yeah,
slicker out here.
right,
Hell yeah.
man.
Well, hi. Welcome to another episode of the Block Bros podcast, specifically episode 8 on this beautiful Tuesday evening. As you know, I'm Sean as Ginger, and this is my co-host or best friend, Tiki Time Tom. Tom,
Hello.
what did you do? What'd you do this week?
It's been a pretty low-key week, besides like tattooing, which is my regular, every day. Sounds weird to kind of say that, not the typical person gets to say that. But yeah, other than that, I went shopping today, and I went into Michael's, which is like a trap for artists, because I'm like, all right, I'm not going to spend $100. And then $175 later, I'm walking out the store with like a whole bunch of art shit. I'm like, what did I do?
Well,
Like,
hey, you're right. You didn't spend $100. You spent $175.
Yeah, like fucking, it's like, oh god, it's like basically a kid in a candy store for any artist. Any artist will tell you that. And yeah, other than that, I went shopping for some other things that me and Sean were talking about, but I don't think it's very nice to mention those on this show.
You can talk about it if you want. We don't have any sponsors. Who cares?
Man,
up to you.
Right? I think I would mention a bit more if occasionally my coworkers didn't listen to the show. Like, oh, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a fair point. I already think y'all know where I'm going, but
I could go a lot of ways. It could go a lot of
Right?
ways. Honestly, we don't know.
Man.
I
You know
don't
what?
know.
I'm gonna leave it up to y'all's imaginations. Whatever y'all want to come up with, that's what I bought. Like,
how much? Okay, so I feel like if we're talking about like you spent money on something and you don't want to say what it is, I feel like the only justifiable thing you could do then is at least give us a price point, like how much was whatever you don't want to tell us that you bought.
It was about like, okay, I'll give you like the range. It was between $150 and $200. Like
all right, everyone. It's like what did Tom buy? Bingo. You're just like, what could it be?
Yeah, like knowing my interest, that is a lot of things. For all you know, it could be a fucking Lego set. Like, honestly,
who doesn't love Legos though? But I don't have $150 to dish out on Legos. Not even close.
I've spent way too much money on Legos, dude.
I'm like Mega Block money out here.
Dude, your Bionicle collection that nobody ever gets to see, like fucking
That's for me.
It's like you like go into Sean's actual stream room and you look left and it's like
it's not on camera for a
it's
reason.
like, hey, can I have some of those Bionicles? I'm like, sure. And then every time I go to his house, his collection is just like almost every Bionicle. Like, I'm like, oh my god.
It's growing. It's something I'm passionate about. It's my work. It's what I want to leave behind to my children.
It's really awesome.
My cat. I'm just leaving in my will. It's a singular piece of paper and it just says Bionicles to cat. Like that's in like 50-point font, bro.
Oh my god.
Nothing for anyone else. Just Bionicles to cat. For me, what did I do this week? I kept working at my new job, learning that I don't love it more every day.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so like, have you guys ever worked somewhere where like it's a small business and they're like, oh, we really need you to come like work here and do this job specifically, and then you start working there and like you don't do that job at all? It's really weird. Like I was hired to do a very specific thing and I have not done any of it. And then also the owner was just like he hires like basically only his own like family members to positions of power, and I'm like, ooh, that is a red flag.
Yeah.
So and like people are like fist fighting in the alleyways and shit. It's a wild time. It's the Wild West where I work right now. So like I'm probably not gonna stay there, and I've been pretty upfront about that.
But just fist fight it to the alleyway.
No, I shit you not. Like we'd be walking down like because I work in a warehouse. You'd be walking down a warehouse like alleyway and turn left, and two dudes would just be beating the shit out of each other, like rip. Like so for instance, I was like stacking boxes, and I like spent like 2 hours restocking something. So I had like a bunch of boxes that were like beautifully stacked in an alleyway, and I turned around for like 10 seconds, and I heard a bunch of like scuffling. I turned back, and one dude is chasing another dude down this like alleyway in my warehouse and knocks over the entire stack of boxes that I just spent like 2 hours stacking.
Oh my god.
They just kept running. They just fucking kept running. I was like, what the fuck? Like I got so mad. I was like, and they didn't clean it. I ended up having to clean it up. I was like, this is fucking. That's where I work. I work in Kangaroo Court, bro. It's bullshit.
My God.
So we'll see. We'll see how long I work there. It's temporary. But yeah, that's been my week. It's been odd. Let's talk about the game that we totally did not come up with last minute again. We kind of did and we kind of didn't. It was an interesting thought process. Tom threw out a game, I threw out a game, and we compromised.
We do have next week's picked out, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean by we compromise. He chose this week's, and I chose next week's. So there was a compromise. So, Tom, since you chose this game, what game are we talking about tonight?
Well, I just hope everybody is ready to party hard. Ha!
I don't know.
Right?
Cool guitar licks off the top of my head.
Right? No, we're talking about Party Hard. It's a pretty cool, different game. Like, definitely something we haven't talked about. So it's basically like a top-down action stealth kind of video game. So like, we mostly talk about Metroidvania, but this is something completely different. So it was developed by Pinocchio. I think that's how you say it, games, and published by Tiny Build. It was released out in 2016, but basically in this game, you are a serial killer. But,
nice.
I mean,
how do you know? Who told you?
Yeah, basically, you just, you get fed up with a whole bunch of shit, and you just start infiltrating parties and just killing everybody, like, kind of like your whole goal of the game, you're just trying to kill the whole party worth of people. That's why it's called Party Hard, because you're just a serial killer at a party killing everybody, and it's pretty fantastic, honestly.
100%. Yeah, and that pretty much sums it up. Like, I really enjoyed this game because it didn't take itself seriously at all. That's the part that really made me love it so much. And for reference, I did play this on stream a couple days ago, so it's still really fresh in my mind. But it just did not take itself seriously. I went into it thinking it's gonna be really easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, and it's more like easy breezy, murder a guy in the bathroom and hope the cops don't catch you, and it's really difficult.
Yeah, it's fucking.
We'll get to that. It's really fucking difficult.
Let's
talk about the storyline. So with this game, and just right off the top, I'm going to probably say this. This is probably going to be one of our shortest episodes. It's not a lot, honestly. Right. There's not a lot to cover about this game. But specifically with the storyline, it's basically what Tom said. You're a serial killer and you go to parties. But the way I like to spin it is, and the way the game tries to spin it is have you ever been trying to get some fucking sleep and you have a goddamn noisy ass neighbor that won't shut the fuck up, and everyone that lives around me's case, I'm that guy. I'm the noisy ass neighbor that won't shut the fuck up. And I'm sure my neighbors have had the thought that they'd like to just come to my party and start stabbing people left and right. That's the premise of this game. You just get fed up, can't sleep, and you go to your neighbor's party and just start stabbing some people. So you play as an unnamed man who is described as a guy just wanting some goddamn peace and quiet. You find it difficult to sleep where there's active party goers nearby, and he decides to kill them all using a knife. Pretty simple. And the story does get more and more complex as the game goes on. It actually has a storyline which threw me through a loop. I thought this was just going to be because it kind of has the vibe of a web-based 2000s game where you're just you load into this procedurally generated level and you walk around and you stab people, and then there's another level once you get past that. But in between the levels, there's actually kind of a story, which is wild. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, there's a lot of cutscenes in there that get the story even deeper, but I just think it's so funny how it starts out. His whole premise is he was literally just a guy tired of his neighbors trying to get some sleep. And he's just I'm gonna kill everybody so I can fucking sleep. That's the best reason to kill everybody ever, because I feel that.
It's a real emotion that I think everyone has had at some point. But not to get super deep into the story because there is some twists and turns, and I don't want to spoil for people if they do decide to play it for the story. But essentially, the main premise of it is that there is an investigator that is following the exploits of the serial killer as he travels across the United States, going party to party and murdering people. And honestly, I highly suggest you play it. One, the story it's not immaculate in any way. It does have twists and turns, but the thing that just blew me away for some reason. I am a huge sucker for games having voice acting, and for some reason, this tiny little indie game has voice acting in it, and it's not. I'm pretty sure it was all done by one dude. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, it sounds like it was all done by one dude. But like I still am a sucker for it. Like that shows that they actually put the effort in to put voice acting into these little cutscenes that go through the story. But it's really good. It's got twists and turns. It's got some pretty funny jokes, and I honestly didn't see the end coming. So that's my thought process on the storyline. How about you, Tom?
Yeah, the story gets crazy and the later and later you go. Like I said, basically we're kind of covering like the first kind of few chapters and kind of stuff like that, but beyond that, like there's a lot of twists this kind of story takes, and like yeah, I just don't want to ruin that. Like I would
Yeah.
more like to talk about gameplay aspects more than like the whole story, because
Yeah.
like yeah, it's such like short little bits and pieces, but you feel cohesively connected to the character by the end of it, I will say.
Definitely. And that's why I'm definitely not getting into it, because I really do want people to play this game when they get a chance. It's super fun. So we're going to skip past the rest of the story. Maybe we'll bring back a spoiler later. Maybe at the very end of the episode, we'll give like a, hey, spoiler warning, don't listen to this, and we'll tell you the end. Maybe we'll do that. That sounds fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. All right, so let's move on to graphics and art.
Graphics and art.
So we're trying something a little new since I just streamed this game. And as everyone knows, this is a live podcast, which means that we stream live. We're all doing this, it's streaming out to 3 different platforms. I personally, Sean, am a streamer. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I play this game live. So when we talk about the graphics and art, we throw the graphics on the screen and we look at it while we talk about it. With this, I'm literally just using my stream because it was easy and convenient. And also, I like to self promo. Check out my Twitch. Thank you. So, Tom, go ahead and talk about the graphics. I know that's your main stitched.
Right. Welcome to the world of bits again. Like I love kind of everything about this game, because actually, if you like look closely at this game, not only is there every character is different in this game and designed different, but like also every level, every outfit is different. So the guy went through all the time to literally make every single character in this game, besides like maybe cops and like medics, like their own. Like it's kind of crazy, honestly, like how much like love and detail went into that kind of creation, like just like based on each kind of partier in and of itself. Like you can kind of get like their vibe just based on how they look, which is really kind of crazy, because this game, like graphic wise, is basically colored Atari graphics. Like,
yeah. The bittiest of the biddies.
Like it's crazy. It's like literally, it reminds me like, because this gets like kind of almost like it's brought into like that modern time, like we talk about, but it will remind you in a sense of like just Atari brought to like a modern standby. I don't know, like I usually reference thing to NES and SNES, but the way some characters look in this remind me of how the stick figures used to look in those games, but they're all
how they
colored
walk
in.
too, and how they walk too.
Yeah, exactly.
They get that stick figure walk from Atari. You're right. Yeah, you're dead on.
Yeah, see, like that's what I meant. I'm like, people aren't gonna get what I mean unless I explain myself on that. But
yeah, I didn't see it before you said that, but yeah, that was dead on.
But yeah, but it's more of a modern take on that. So everyone's got their own color and stuff. Otherwise, graphic wise, I love like every level, all the blood in this game that kind of trickles out of everybody, the explosions, everything kind of fits. Like the atmosphere really fits all the characters at the parties too, So
definitely awesome. I think that what really spoke to me about this game was on the graphics wise was the little details that they added into the background. And it's not even a background because like so it's a top down game. We've all played top down games, and every room in the game is separated by like doors that open and close, and then every room has its own like design that you can walk through and stuff from a top down perspective. So it's like you're looking at a layout of a house and there's different people in different rooms and stuff, but every room looks different. So like there's like sometimes there's like a weed carpet, or sometimes there's like piss all over the bathroom, like, or there's a giant whiteboard in front that says party hard. Like there's cool little things that add to like the feel of this game so much. Like when I look at this game and I think about all the house parties I've been to, I'm like, yeah, I've seen this. This seems like a house party. This feels like a house party to me, and I like that. I like that about it.
Right. I
do
just noticed
fully.
the
Oh, you
people
go.
making out actually in the quote unquote lab in the back corner. We'll just call it a lab because it's a trailer park lab, okay? Like
Yeah, yeah. They really nail. I mean, I don't know. I think this might move into content more too, but they really do nail the party going themes. Like, there's so much stuff going on at all times. But I like the way that Tom described how he said, like everyone looks different, everyone has their own vibe, and you can tell kind of how they're going to react in the game based on their vibe. Like, for instance, there's like guys that look like they're motorcycle gang people, and if you like fuck with the motorcycle outside, they start reacting to that, and it's like you could piece that together because they look like motorcycle people. Like, so like it's cool that it definitely has the feel that what they look like matters, and it does contribute to the actual overplaying or overview and playing of the game. So the graphics play an incredible role in more than just looking like graphics. Like, they actually contribute to the gameplay, which is super neat. Actually, that's not. And it's not uncommon, but I didn't expect to see it in this game.
yeah, like exactly. It's definitely not uncommon thing, but yeah, like you said, it didn't need to be added. But the tiny things that they're doing in this game for something that could have been so simplistic is really hard to pull off and nice. You know?
Yeah, and it looks, and everything looks good. Like, and I know we talk about like how it looked like it's Atari or SNES or whatever, but like also like it still has like the pixel effects that you get from like higher end games. Like when we talk about like, again, Dead Cells or you know other games we've talked about with like high end pixelation effects. They're more minute in this game, but they're still there. Like there's like flame in a barrel, and like it looks like flame in a barrel. Or there's blood all over the floor. It looks like blood on the floor. There's flashing lights. They look like flashing lights. Like, everything looks like it should, and it has the effects that make it interesting. And I like that about it.
Yeah, I mean, what's really crazy about how it pulls it off is like most things have anywhere from 2 to 4 frames of animation in this game, but he made it very smooth. Like, it doesn't make sense how your character has literally 4 frames of animation, but looks like he's walking smooth as hell. Like, that's like if you've ever done like animation at all, you know, in the typical regular cartoon, there's about 30 to 60 on a high like kind of frame side for animation. Like, I mean, even in indie games we've played before, it has up to that. So the fact that this guy basically can get condensed it down that much is pretty crazy, honestly. Like,
yeah, it looks really good. And like another thing that I love about it is that for the graphics is that there is like speech bubbles. Like when someone sees you murder another person, they react. You can tell what's happening around you because they'll be like, "Oh my god, I need to find a phone," or "Help, murderer." Or you know, like people are yelling things. Like there's text bubbles that show what people are yelling, or like they'll be like running. They'll have like a little exclamation mark over their head that's like, "Oh no!" Like, I know that something is happening, or there'll be like a phone thing over their head, which means they're going to call the cops. Like, it's very easy to understand what people are doing based on the graphics surrounding them or what they look like, and that's really cool to see too, because like everything plays into everything else.
Yeah, like simplicity really paid off in this game, which like a lot of times doesn't work out, but in this game it really does. Like, it's crazy, honestly.
Yeah.
Except for like, I think the one they did more with was like the blood effects, like kind of like like shit like that, like is kind of overdone, but I think that's more for fun.
It suits. I feel like it suits the game, like the gore, the quote unquote gore, like, you know, the red stains you used to see. Like, it reminds me of like when I was a kid, I used to put like Red Alert on my PC at home. It reminds me of like the armies are shooting at each other, and then there's like a bloody patch left, like they're little tiny bloody patches in pixels, and that's what it looks like. There's like little chunks in there, you know, like it looks like shitty blood and gore with pixel, and it may be overdone a little bit, but I think it adds to the overall feel that this game doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's funny, like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this game is like, it's so there's like no jokes in this game, but it's so full of humor just because of shit you do. Like,
yeah, just the wildest shit happens. But as far as graphics and art, I think we covered most of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's very appealing to look at. Like, everything in this game really fits. Like, every party theme in this game fits like the party you're kind of going for. And like, it's a good transition to almost talk about like sounds, because like the party themes, like the music fits the party too, so like I
Definitely.
don't know, like yeah.
Let's just transition with that into sounds and music.
Sounds and music.
I will say that I think that was the sounds and music was one of my favorite parts of the game.
Oh yeah.
Not only because the songs were a bop. I couldn't find any information on if they like outsourced to create the music or if they created it in house. I couldn't find anything for that. But what I do know is that these songs fucking bop. Like they sound like party music. They sound like you're at a party enjoying, like, they got the heavy bass, it's electric, like you're having fun, people are dancing. And my favorite part is they tied that in with the graphics by having like a little DJ actually playing music, and he's one of the dudes you have to kill on every level. And like that's really funny because like it'll just like play the music and you have to kill the DJ. And I loved it. I loved the music in this game. It reminded me, it was very reminiscent for me of music from like Katana Zero. It was a little obviously not the same caliber because Katana Zero was the best music we've talked about in any game so far.
Yeah.
But it had the same like similar like vibe where it was like really bass heavy, really electronic, really boppy. It sounds like party music. It sounds like you're at a house party and having a good time. And I really liked the sounds in this game and the music.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, the music on here is so good. Like each kind of like party you go to, like I feel like the party music fits like the themes of the parties very well in this game. Like the biker party music, I mean sometimes it changes it up like kind of in levels depending, but I mean like the biker music is a lot different than the Miami music, and it fits the levels very nice. Like I don't know, the music in this game is fucking like. You ever want some go-to party music? I bet if you found this soundtrack, like it would be fucking.
Just sound like a generic party, yeah. It kind of just sounds like generic party music, but it works so well for the game itself, and not even just like the music, because like other parts about the game that are super good is like when like some of it has like sound actions, like when you stab someone, there's a sound action, or like when there's like an explosion, there's a sound action, or when people start panicking, there's sound actions. Like the sound alerts in this game or sound actions sound really clear and identifiable. It's not muddy at all. You always know what's happening, even if you're not watching that part of the house. Like say I set off a bomb in the kitchen, but I'm already in the other room like stabbing a guy, I can still hear if someone's gonna go call the police from the other room. Like I can just know because the sound alert is very transparent and easy to understand.
Right, yeah. Every sound in this game really means something, and you can catch it on right away. As soon as you hear the sound, you kind of instinctually, just from your gamer brain, know what that sound means. Like, if that makes sense,
No, we talked about gamer brain before. Yeah,
gamer brain.
Everything works in the way that it's supposed to, and it all flows together in a cohesive like vibe.
Yeah,
but the music is a big part of this game that I don't think the game, like you take away the music from this game, I think it really would have fallen short. But the music, even if it wasn't like crazy good, it was really well designed for each level that you're on. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, like you'll want to jam to like each of these like songs for at least like a good while. Like you'll never want to be turning the music off playing this game. And I know I've talked about other games like where you'll turn music and sound down after a while just because it's not hitting and kind of falls in the background. But with this, it engages you into playing the game even more,
Yeah, exactly. It feels like you're actually at a party just murdering people.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, the whole feel of the game.
That's what you want it to be. Yeah, exactly. Or like even when like the police roll up, like the police, it sounds like police. Like it's like woo, it has the siren sounds. I don't make siren sounds. I don't know, but like you know what I mean. Like it has the siren sounds. Like everything sounds the way that you would believe it would in the game, and I think that's really a good touch with it as well. One of the things I will say, I did say I'm a sucker for voice acting. That is something that I do love. I kind of wish they would have hired more voice actors.
Yeah,
because like I said at the beginning, like I love voice acting, and I'm amazed that this game had it for the cutscene transitions. But it does sound like it was done by one guy, and unfortunately, that'll fall under the sounds and music. It sounds like it was all done by one guy, which is totally fine. I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, I mean, it does basically sound like a guy going like, wait, you want how much to say like 10 lines? No, I can say 10 lines. Like,
yeah. But it's all good. I mean, they didn't need to do that. It's like an extra thing. So I'm not even complaining about it. I was happy that it was there.
Yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, I think that's all I needed to talk about for sounds and music. How about you?
No, I mean, we've pretty much covered like the basis of sound and music. It fits the game like just super well. All together party music of different kinds of parties, like, and it'll get you even more engaged in the game.
Definitely. It like you said, it feels like you're at a party, having a good time, murdering people. Well, let's move on to features and content.
Features and content.
I gotta pull up something really quick. But what's the first thing you want to talk about with features and content, Tom?
Here, one sec. Let me look here. Let's see. I think like probably just killing people in traps is a good way to kind of start off. So
yeah, it's the main draw.
Yeah. So this game, what it does well is killing everybody is totally up to you the way you want to kill everybody. Like, I mean, there's a lot of traps, but you could just stab everybody, or you could wait in the corner, or you could just wait to hide bodies. Like, you go really fast, really slow. Each time you play this game, you're actually going to play each level different just based on where all your party goers are, you know, like, but what I really like is like just it feels good to kill people in this game, no matter how many times you've fucking done it. Like, just, I mean, stabbing people in this game, for once, I'm just gonna say my boy is the baddest stabber on the planet because one stab instantly kills people, like fucking just dead immediately. Like, it's like he just stabs people right in the death spot or something. You know, it's this
The death
stab.
spot.
Yeah, that's what I'll call it because he like pokes you and you're just dead, like immediately. I don't know where he stabs you. It's just blood all over, but he got you in the dead spot, like for sure.
The dead zone.
Yeah, like basically, like he's really proficient. Like he never takes two stabs. It's just one done, like fucking out.
One
like,
take Tony out here.
but like
stabbing people.
But like, you know, beyond stabbing, each level has its like own basis of traps, you know, like that you can use. Like you can poison the punch, or you could like push over a giant speaker onto someone, or like there is occasionally things you can rewire to make explode, you know, like there's so many things you can like do in this game, you know, just killing wise that I really like. I mean, there's even a guy you can get more traps from. He's just this crazy dude in a trench coat. I don't know his backstory. I think he just wanders around just with random traps, I guess. Like fucking some crazy ass man, like with bear traps, like in a trench coat. Like that's a very specific thing you're trying to sell.
I think that what made this game super interesting to me is that I mean, this ties into what you're saying, kind of with the content on this one. If you've heard the show before, you guys know that content is like where we throw, you know, everything. This is our meat and potatoes. This is where everything exists. Bread and butters. But essentially there's 19 unique levels that are procedurally generated, and each one is different every single time. And I think that's why the beauty of this game really comes to fruition, is because like most of the time you're probably not going to defeat a level in the first try. So when you get caught and busted by the police, you come back and it's totally different traps, totally different, like same layout, but people are in different spots, they're doing different things, and the characters like actually do shit. Like sometimes they go and pass out in the corner and fall asleep, or they might go like wander off with someone else to hook up, and like you have to like plan for that. And I think that's the thing that threw me off the most with this game, is I thought it would just be like, I'm gonna walk in and stab people and then I'm gonna get out before the cops come, and I ended up having to actually like go against all of that and play stealthily, which I didn't ever want to do. But once I started doing it and enjoying it, like a lot of the traps in this game have like timers on them. So like you'll like walk into the kitchen and there'll be like 10 people in the kitchen. So you're like, okay, cool. And you like walk up to the stove, click it, and then walk out of the kitchen. And by the time you're in the other room, the stove explodes and it kills all those 10 people. Like that's super cool. And like no one can prove it's you. Then even if the cops show up, they're just there to investigate the murder. So as long as you don't murder anyone else while the cops are there, like they probably won't know it's you. So like it involved a lot more stealth than I anticipated, even though it was a stealth game, because like I've played hella stealth games where you can just kill your way through and be fine. Like whatever, no problem. But in this one there was a lot more options and a lot more problems, because like bodies stack up. You have to get rid of bodies in this game, which is something I didn't realize until like 45 to an embarrassing amount of time into the game. like someone smarter than me probably would have realized a lot sooner. But for me, I like didn't fucking realize I had to hide bodies, so I was just like stabbing people and letting their bodies just be out in public instead of like throwing
Oh
them in the
man,
trash.
you gotta throw them bodies, son. Yeah. People like make slight eye contact with you, and you're like 20 feet away, and they're like, "You did this!" Like,
Yeah, or like you'll be like. Dude, I don't know what it was, but I'd always like stab someone outside, and then somebody inside would like see me holding a body outside the window, and I'm like, "Oh!" Can you imagine that though? You're just like standing outside a window with a body, like a dead girl slumped over your shoulder, and someone inside just sees you. Hey,
Basic- Hi.
it's just like it's funny every time and awkward, and I love that. And like Tom said, there's a million ways to kill people. You don't just got to go around stabbing. And every single level has different shit. Just has different shit depending on the level and the way it's procedurally generated. There's so many different ways to kill people, and they're all really fucking funny. Like, I don't know. I was giggling like a schoolgirl the entire time I was playing this game. I can tell you that.
Right? Yeah, it's the good kind of stealth, you know. It's like I get bored often by stealth kind of games because like you feel like, you know, you have to crouch down and be sneaky, follow a specific route, you know, like a lot of stealth games like there's a specific path you're actually supposed to follow, right? Like it's not it doesn't feel like actual stealth, especially with NPCs. This game feels like real stealth because of how random everything is, you know? No NPC in this game actually has a set pattern that they have to go in. So at any moment you could actually possibly like be just spotted just out of sheer coincidence because that NPC never enters that room or anything. Like there's a lot of sheer randomness and it feels like real stealth, you know? Like it feels like you're actually at like a party trying to kill all these random kind of people instead of like trying to go in that set pattern every single time. You're not going to do that in this kind of game.
And that also took me a minute to realize that I'm like, oh shit, I gotta like change up what I'm doing. I can't just keep doing the same shit and it not working. But I think that it does lend the fact that it's totally randomized and that, you know, people do whatever they want. It leads a lot of agency for the player to choose how you want to play and how you want to kill people. Like you don't have to do the same thing, and you don't want to do the same thing every time because it probably won't work. And I think that's really cool and really interesting for this game to do.
Right. Yeah. It's really great in what it does there, you know.
I think another great thing that this game does is that you can trigger events by doing stuff like specifically on the level we're on right now. It's like the first level. There's like in one of the rooms there's like a bunch of gasoline. So like if you want, you can walk up to the gasoline and light it on fire, and then the fire people, the firefighters will actually come and fight the fire like while you're doing other shit. Or if you like poison the punch, like SWAT will show up and like, or the DEA will show up and like start just killing people. Like the DEA will show up and just start killing people. Or like if you tip over motorcycles, the motorcycle people will just start fighting random people. Like it's so fun that you can trigger other things to happen in the game. Like a lot of the time, a motorcycle person, like you'll chip over, or like for instance, you'll knock over a motorcycle, and then like the motorcycle people will start fighting and accidentally kill a guy, and then the NPCs will call the cops on the motorcycle guy. And while the motorcycle guy is like getting arrested, you're killing more people, and they're like, he killed so many people. Like it just stacks on, and it just makes it's so enriching. It's so smart and well done, and I really like that about it, because they could have just phoned it in. They could have just been like, it's a game where you wander through and stab people, but instead you have all of this agency and all of these choices and all of these events and this chaos with it that makes it feel like a true house party serial murder experience.
Right. Yeah. The NPCs aren't just out to get you. They can connect like things with any other person. Like it's kind of cool that way, you know, like a lot of stealth games, even though it is you, you know, like that it's not like they're immediately gonna target like just you. Like they're like, hey, which one of you motherfuckers did that? You know, like
yeah, it's like murder mystery. It's like Mr. Mustard in the ballroom with a candlestick.
Right, yeah.
Not the guy in the mask with the knife.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like fucking not the one stab champ of the fucking world. Like
we make the best music. No, but I also I like the amount of characters that you can unlock in this game, because you start out with just like the regular character, which is just like your basic dude. But then there's other I think there's like 5 or 6 unlockable characters that come with the game as well. So like the unlockable characters include like a ninja, a policeman, some person named Katie, and the butcher, and this guy named Hitler. No, Hintler. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's dangerous. And then also, I don't know. And when I played, I had another dude that is not listed in this. I forgot his name, but he was my favorite personally. Where like you like charge his. He has like he can't run, but if
Oh,
you charge his chest, it like you're like timed, and you reduce the time that you have to kill everyone, but you run really fast for that amount of time.
yeah, it's rip off that one movie.
Yeah,
That Jason
with Bruce Willis, right?
Yeah, it was it Bruce Willis or was it Jason? Oh, God damn it,
Well, it was like Charge or
Jason
something like that.
Statham. Yeah, yeah, it was like you had to keep charging his heart to keep it alive. It's basically that character in
It's
this
a rip
game.
off, yeah. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
that I had that character. I played him. Other than that, I didn't play any of the other ones. But like, you unlock these characters by doing specific things, and I think that's really cool because it has like unlockable content, which again, the game did not have to add, but it really does add to the game.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you go.
No, I was just gonna say it's really cool, like all the small little things that this game does to really add to the cohesiveness of it. Like, you could just be going around and things could be the same every time, or people could be the same every time, and it could just be your basic kind of game like this. But they put like a lot more into it than you would ever expect, and it's things that you really don't pick up on until you've played like a decent amount of it, that you're like, wow, there are a lot of details in this game that didn't have to be in there that really shine. So
Yeah, and adding on to that, exactly something that I did want to mention about this game is that they have like little tiny nods to other games in the game. Like for instance, you can only use the exits, like because there's the main exit and there's like side exits on the levels that you can use sometimes. And like you can only use the side exits a certain amount of time before literally a dude dressed like Mario runs up and starts cutting down the side exit. Like so like there's just like little tiny nods to other games in this that I thoroughly enjoy as well. Like it just shows that they had a sense of humor with it. It wasn't taken too seriously and they enjoyed developing it.
yeah, like it's really cool, the little tiny niche things you'll see in this game that are hidden. I don't want to spoil too many, but yeah, that's definitely a good one. You just see Mario show up occasionally, definitely out of a toilet, which is just fucking weird to see him like go down pipes and shit and out of them. But yeah, that is dude, whenever he's there just destroying like your fucking side exit that you've
I
used
get
the entire
pissed.
times.
Yeah.
It's the
Another
worst.
little fact about this game that I didn't know until a couple times playing through it. Well, the first couple levels was every time. So like cops will give up eventually. Like if like you're running and you're not getting caught by the cops, you're hiding really well. Sometimes you can hide, or they don't know it's you. They'll give up, and then the next cop that comes back will be slightly better than the last cop every time. And I think that's really fun. I think that's really interesting. But I didn't know that for a long time. But I was like, why is this cop so much harder than the other cop? It's like because they get harder as the game goes on. And the more you escape them, they're just going to keep setting harder and harder cops.
Right. I just love how they're like, well, I guess I won't catch that murderer then.
Yeah, I'm too old for this shit. Never mind.
Basically, like fucking there's like 13 dead people here. Whatever. I can't keep up. Like
yeah, I'm old. I want to do this.
man.
And another fun fact about this is that you the murderer can die too,
Yeah.
which like you either get caught, you get busted at the end of the level, or you can die. And like I didn't know that for the longest time, but I will say the times that I died the most and the way that I died the most were because I was outside and the police rolled up and ran me over.
Yeah.
Like that's I kept dying. I get to like the last couple people in the party and I'd be walking back inside to kill them and the cops would roll up and kill me. Like just by accident. They'd just be rolling by and kill me.
Right. I will also say security might as well be One Punch Man. Because
Yeah,
you
God.
like fucking die like immediately. Like security sees you, they're like 1 punch,
and they
like,
chase you too. They're like,
yeah,
they
will. Yeah, they'll fucking get you, man. It's so hard to that again. I will say your character has like the slowest power walk in fucking history. Like
that's
seriously.
like that's a nod. That's a nod to like horror movies though, because they're always walking.
Yeah, like it's just so funny when a cop's chasing after you and you're like, fucking no way, man. And the cop's like just jogging, like, what are you doing? Like, fucking, you ain't gonna get me. And then he carries you away like a fucking child.
Yeah, and
Like,
then at some point you just get like if I that was another part that kind of threw me off is like sometimes when you're close to when the cop gets close to you, your character just kind of like gives up, and I'm like, why would you give up? Or you just killed like 30 people. Like
yeah,
that was
like,
kind of a weird thing, but I understand why it happens in the game. It's just like
yeah,
I didn't like that part. I was like, I wanted to fight to the very end. I wanted to be able to and sometimes like I accidentally killed the cop a couple times. Like I would like have a trap that I had already set, and he'd be arresting me, and then the trap would go off and kill him, and
yeah.
I'd be like, I'm still free, and like that's also pretty exhilarating because ACAB. But yeah, and another fun like there's not a lot to talk about in this game. What we've
Hmm.
described is most of it. I'm gonna be honest.
Right.
Other than it's just a really fun and interesting game, and every level is unique. And another just beautiful thing I loved. It'll probably come up. It'll probably end up being my favorite thing about the game. Actually, I'll just save it then. I'll just save it. I know exactly what I'm gonna say is my favorite thing about the game.
Right.
But with content, there was extra stuff that came from the game as well. There a spin-off did come out of this game as well in October 2017. A spin-off simulation game titled Party Hard Tycoon was released. It involves managing and organizing parties in this universe of the game. I had never played it, didn't look into it, but apparently it's set in the same universe. And also there is a sequel to this game as well, called Party Hard 2, and it was released in 2018. I never played that either. But what I did find interesting, and I didn't know this until after I streamed it, unfortunately, is that apparently there's Twitch integrations with this game that allow your chat to trigger events in the game. And I did not know that, but that sounds super fun, and I should have read the Wikipedia beforehand.
Man, that's fucking crazy. I can't even believe that that's actually part of this. Like,
Yeah, a lot of games are actually a lot of indie games are adding stuff like that. Like Call of Lamb has it as well, and like a bunch of. I mean, Call of Lamb's kind of a bigger game, but like a lot of smaller games has it. Like I played another game called Cluster Truck, which was just like some random like physics-based jumping game, and it had it as well. So like a lot of games are moving towards Twitch integration, which I love to see as a Twitch streamer. It makes it more fun.
right? Yeah. Put it into a puzzle game, make puzzles absolutely impossible. Like,
Yeah, just
fucking,
like changing the foot. Yeah, no, straight
yeah.
up. Honestly,
Put that into Baba Is You. Oh, fuck that. Fuck that.
did you have anything else to say about content and stuff? Features
No,
and
I
content?
guess like this is something like different that we really haven't talked about before. Like I said, we've talked about platforming games, Metroidvania games, but this is something different and it's like actually just like a really fun experience. Like if you have like any kind of portable like gaming thing, like I'll just say a Switch because like a lot of people have Switch. This is one of those perfect Switch games. Like you're on a fucking lunch break after a hard fucking day and you just kind of want to quick stab some people for like 20 minutes or like try to get through a level. Like here's the thing, sometimes it'll take you like this game, emphasis on hard, because this
Yeah,
game is fucking hard.
I fun fact, I didn't believe Tom when he told me that this game was hard. And we are watching my stream right now, right? I do this thing called New Game Thursday where I play a game every Thursday that I've never looked at, so I chose this game. And usually I give it about an hour and decide if I like it. If I like it, I keep playing it. If I don't, at the hour mark, which we are at right now, I am still on the first level.
Yeah,
I think it ended up taking me like an hour and a half to get past the first level, and then weirdly, all the other levels felt really easy after that. Or not really easy, but easier. But it still is a hard game, especially if you're not really accustomed to stealth-based games.
right. Yeah, like this game is like all like a matter of skill mixed with rolls of dice mixed with like fucking everything. Like it's so much fun because a level can take you an hour or it can take you 10 minutes. Sometimes things all killing people go smooth and the cops just don't catch you, but like there's a lot of things in this game that you can just easily mess up and then you're just dead. Like
Yeah, and then you
you're
got to
just,
start all over again, and it's like you
yeah,
got to kill like 40 people on most levels. So it's just like it's a
yeah,
lot of work, man. And honestly, it's very rewarding. It feels fun. But like Tom said, it's the roll of the dice, and I took an embarrassingly long time to get past the first level. No shame, it was very hard for me. But when I did, I had a great time with it. Honestly.
yeah. Like it takes. I will say it took actually me about that amount of time too to get past the first level. So don't feel bad if you're playing this game and you're like, why the hell am I not good at this? Like, I don't think anyone, it took them like a first try to get past this, like at all.
I kept getting to the point where I was hitting like, because on the first level there's 49 people you have to kill, and I literally would get to like, I got to like 45, and then it was like 3 or 4 times in a row I got to 45, and the cops would just roll in and hit me with their car, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. Like every time it was like the same shit. I was like, how is this even happening? So I did get a little salty about it at one point or another.
Man.
Well, let's talk about movement and controls. We forgot that last time, I think,
Yeah.
too, but we'll talk about it now.
Movement and controls.
I don't think there's a lot to say about movement and controls. I mean, it's a top-down game. You have an entire layout of a house. You press a
Right.
button to stab people. You press a button to run. You press a button to use items. I played with a controller. I also played with a keyboard. I like the controller more, which I don't usually say. But yeah, it's really simple, top-down, moving around.
Right. Yeah, it's nice and intuitive. Like, the movement works with this game. Like, I know I said you walk slow, but to the point, like, you're supposed to be like walking this kind of slow. Like, I feel like it kind of works to its advantage that there's no run button in this game. You know, it would be.
Well, there's like a power walk. Yeah, there's a power walk button.
Yeah, it is like a power walk button, but how much of like a power walk is it? It's like
Yeah, and
you
your
go
stamina
from-
depletes like really fast too. I basically, the way I described it is like if someone sees you and they're within like, like a room distance, you have that much power walk to get to them before they call the cops. Like it's literally that's how much power walk you have.
Yeah, like God, those cops be chasing you, and you were just
Stressing.
yeah. It's like back in 7th grade when you're like, why would I even run the mile? You know, like
But you gotta still fake it. You gotta still kind of fake it. You're
right?
like,
Yeah,
I'm running.
yeah. Like every time you see a teacher, you're like kind of fake, like running faster. That's basically your movement speed in this game. Just if you're curious, like fucking.
Yeah, but no, it's well done. I mean, it's very simplistic controls, but it doesn't need to be anything fancy. You're not like dash sliding and playing Apex. You're not doing something complicated. You're literally top down, moving from room to room and stabbing people or picking them up or using an item or using a trap. Like
Right.
really easy, really simple, and we don't really feel like we have to talk about it that much. It's simple and it works.
Yeah, it's simple enough that you could probably. I think you could use an NES controller probably to play this
Yeah.
game if you
Oh,
wanted
definitely.
to. So
Definitely, yeah. Awesome. Well, let's move into closing thoughts then.
Closing thoughts.
All right. Well, with closing thoughts, we usually have the same couple thoughts, but what about what do you think about the replayability on this game, Tom?
I like to replay it. Like personally, like something just draws you back into this game. You know, it's like the randomness, the funness, killing everyone in a party. You know, like fucking. There's something like occasionally, like even if you're having like a hard time on like levels, and you're like, fuck, like the later ones get really difficult, and when you get like a feel for this game overall, you'll go back to the kind of like beginning levels, and trust me, they're still fucking hard. But like, you know, like there's something fun just about replaying that party or listening to that music or seeing the vibe of people there. Like it makes you just want to play it, not just because like things are different, but like I don't know, something draws you back, you know.
Definitely. I feel like for me it was really replayable because usually if I am not great at things, I will give up on them pretty fast.
Mhm.
And like I said, I played for like an hour and a half on the first level. I did not give up. And that alone says that it's replayable. It's replayable to me. I didn't get bored. I was having a good time. I had to figure things out. I had to problem solve. I had to plan, and like it made it feel really replayable to me. And every level was like that after that as well. So I think that replayability wise, I definitely love playing this multiple times. I didn't have any problem, and also the fact that the level changes every time. Honestly, or you can play a different character and have different movement, or like things change, and it keeps it fresh and interesting. So it's incredibly replayable for me.
Yeah, it's basically like playing a puzzle game, but like, you know, every time you have to restart, the puzzle just changes what fucking pieces you get to use in every single level. Like
Definitely, yeah, it does kind of feel like that. What about the fun factor? Where would you put this on a scale of 1 to 10 for fun?
I mean, I personally, even though this game is hard as hell, like, I would put it up there with like probably a good 8. Like I have an 8 to 8.5, and on that same level, I do rage sometimes, and that is also to the 8 to 9 in this game sometimes because you will get fucked a lot. And sometimes there's like one person left at the end of the level, and a cop will get to you before you can stab them. God, you just the amount of
Anger.
tries, yeah, you tried to get to that, and sometimes, like I said, it's just based on the roll of the dice, and you're like, well, fuck, it doesn't matter how skillful you are. Sometimes you can't rely on that strategy every go around, and you're gonna get angry sometimes. It's inevitable with this, but it's more like a fun kind of anger. I feel like there's definitely that hatred kind of anger, but there's also that kind of joy in it because you're like, fuck it, another game. I'm
Yeah,
gonna start
that's
stabbing people. Like,
That's
fuck
what
it,
I was gonna say. Yeah, 100%. Is I agree with the I put it at about a 7.5 to 8 for me. I had a great time with it. I didn't expect to actually like it as much as I did, or to play it for as long as I did on the stream. I
right?
really enjoyed it. I was very surprised about that. And it was really fun and unique in the concepts that it had and the things that it did well. And as far as my rage factor, yeah, I put it at an 8 because like it's exactly what Tom said. You'll fucking lose. You'll be like, God, fucking damn it, fuck this game, I hate it. And you put your controller down and sit there for a second, and just be like, all right, and just pick it back up and play again, like
Yeah,
immediately. And like
yeah,
that's just how it feels. It's got some rage to it, but it's like a good rage. It makes you want to stab people, which makes you want to play it more.
right. Yeah, like emphasis on hard on this game. Like party hard was not fucking wrong. Like it's
It's hard, or we're just really bad. One of the two. You tell us, guys. Let us know.
right.
um, is there any games that it reminds you of?
In a way, this is like if I can like merge two games together, this is
Yeah.
like Hitman meets early Grand Theft Auto games, that kind of top
Oh
down
yeah.
perspective that you get to fuck around with. But then with that Hitman kind of mentality that you're trying to kill people, except you're not trying to kill one person, you're trying to kill everybody. So I think it's like a grandchild of both of those games put into something really cool,
Yeah.
like
No, I can see that definitely. I think I'm taking a safer route with it and saying it kind of reminds me graphically, musically, and top down wise of Hotline Miami. Like
yeah.
pretty similar graphically. The concept fully different, but it
Yeah, I was
has
gonna
a
say
same or
concept
similar
gameplay.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I can see that kind of like graphically wise, music wise, top down setting wise. Gameplay totally different, but everything else pretty much on point to this,
It also kind of reminds me of like this is like a really like I'm dating myself here, and I don't think anyone's even gonna get this reference, but like when I was in like middle and high school, we used to play this game online where it was like Stickman Battle Arena, where it was like
Mm-hmm.
top down and you get a weapon and run from room to room and try to kill each other. Like it
Yeah.
kind of feels like that, except you're the only one that gets to kill people, except for if shit happens by accident.
God damn. We should just like stream like games we used to play like that or that pirate game from
Oh my
like
god.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh my god, I forgot about that game actually entirely. What the fuck was that even called?
I don't remember. We found it in digital electronics and we just used to like fucking play this
It was
pirate
just like
game like oh
you got like a ship and like
yeah.
everyone was in like a room and you would just like sail around shooting each other's ships and
Yeah.
it was like top down and terrible. It was
Yeah.
not good. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like an online game. Let us know if you know about that game. Whoever was in that class with us. We played that for so long. It was ridiculous. Let's review that game. Fuck. Flash game. We could do a spin-off of Block Bros called like Flash Bros. Wait, that sounds
Right?
bad. That
Oh
sounds
my
really
God.
bad. We can't do that. We can't do that legally.
Right?
Something. We'll come up with a new name. Like, maybe that could be fun actually though. Just like it'd be like 20-minute episodes. That's literally
Yeah.
exactly the same as Block Bros. Maybe like a
Right.
Block Bros mini-sode. I don't know. We'll see.
Mini
How much would you recommend this game, and who would you recommend it to if you have someone in particular?
I don't know. I'd recommend this game to anyone who really is into kind of indie games in general. This is gonna leave like it's like eating a new food, Like you're either gonna love it or you're gonna kind of hate it,
Mhm.
Like, but it's something different and fresh and new, and I really like what it did, So I'm gonna recommend this game to. I basically think anyone should give it a try. Like it's gonna be hard, like I'm not gonna lie, but it's really fun, honestly. It's just it's fun, and you're gonna laugh at like just the ways of killing people, and like I said, being like one stab Sam never gets old. Like.
I think we've named him like 3 different things.
I've been trying. I'm like, God damn, he's.
He's
I don't know.
he's canonically unnamed in the game, so that makes sense.
Yeah, his technique is just impetuous.
It's well.
Like,
Is that even impetuous? Is that a word? I'm calling
I don't know.
It is now impetuous.
I think so.
Stabbing really good.
I've heard fancy people use impetuous before.
we ain't fancy on the Block Bros podcast,
Right?
Not
we
us.
throw in nonsense words,
Yeah, we're not. Did I mention we're professional podcasters?
Right?
Fuck no.
We are now. We've had errors of an episode, and we've had technical difficulties. So
and we've had guests. We're like whole ass podcasters. Look at those.
Yeah, that's like everything podcast needs.
I think I would recommend this game, like you said, to anyone who likes indie games. I'd also reach out to anyone that likes stealth games. I think that stealth games people will really like this. I am not a stealth gamer. I like when I played Dishonored, I with the full on kill everyone mode. Like I played a lot of stealth games and I didn't enjoy them. That being said, I went into this having the mentality that I wouldn't enjoy it, and I really, really, really liked it and spent a lot of time on it, as you can see by. I mean, the stream was like 4 hours. So like I spent a good amount of time on it and enjoyed it. And it was a lot of fun. And I kept replaying even when I lost. And it was really hard, but it was a lot of fun. So I'd recommend everyone give it a go, honestly.
Yeah. Like this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Fun.
What was your favorite thing about this game? And maybe your least favorite thing, if you have one.
Honestly, my favorite thing, I've probably said a lot through this episode, but stabbing never gets old. Like it's like old reliable, as we like to fucking say, is like it can always count on just that one stab and just fucking takes the motherfucker out. And every time it's so simple but so satisfying. Like
it's cost effective, bro. One knife.
Right? Like, I mean, that's my favorite kind of thing in this game.
Do you have a least favorite?
How my least favorite is when I do not when basically Mario takes away my exit as I'm trying to escape police officers, because that's happened way more fucking times than I know what to do with it. That Mario's just like, nah, I'm gonna take your wall away as like a cop is rolling up, and I'm like,
God.
I'm literally fucked.
Damn
like there's nowhere for me to go. Like
yeah. I think my favorite is, it's just such a minuscule thing, but I love it so much. Is you can press a button to start dancing and it makes people uncomfortable and they leave you alone, or they start dancing with you. There's no in between. So I used it as like ways to, like, if I was outside and there was like 3 people outside and I wanted one of them to stay, I'd like dance near the 2 that were near so they'd leave. But like you start dancing and like for some people, when you start dancing near them, they'll be like, stop it, that's fucking weird, and then they'll hit you in the face.
Yeah.
They want nothing to do with it. I thought it was hilarious. Like, I didn't realize it until way later into the game, and it just made everybody uncomfortable, and it felt real. It felt like you were just like a socially awkward dude trying to like have fun, and people were like, stop it. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Like, honestly.
And then my least favorite part was that, like, I think I mentioned earlier, was like occasional, it's like you give up too easy. Like when the cop gets near you, your character just gives up, and I feel like that was kind of a weird vibe. I didn't love that because like I get why it happens, because like there has to be consequences in the game, and like it has to end the level and blah blah blah. But like you just murdered like 15 to 20 to 40 people. Why are you giving up when one cop is chasing you? It makes no sense. But that was my only gripe, and that's not even a real gripe because it's a function in the game.
Yeah, like maybe if like the cop tackled you, something
like,
like
he just like walks up and touches you, like,
and he carries away you like a fucking toddler had a tantrum, like that's the way you're going to prison.
I like him to like take out his gun and start shooting me, bro. Like I like him to put in some fucking effort. Like be a cop, right? be the cop.
Be the police officer we know America supplies. Like, I'm sorry.
Don't lie to me. I think one of my favorite quotes from my chat when I was playing this game was like, "This game is so unrealistic. Cops never show up that fast."
Right?
And I was like, "Oh, okay." But that's just my stream. Definitely, yeah. That was my favorite and least favorite though. So guys, the consoles that this game is available on are Switch, PC, Mac, Xbox, PlayStation, and a mobile port is also available for Fire OS, iOS, and Android. So it's literally, you have no excuse not to play this game. Super fun. It's on every console. With that being said, we do provide a link in the show notes where you can buy this game. Full disclosure, Block Bros does get a kickback. It's only a couple cents. So if you want to help support the podcast and you want to help support an up-and-coming developer, buy the game, play it for yourself. Let us know what you think about it. Tom, where can people find you?
You can find me. If you want to play games with me, it's Ticking Time Tom on all Steam, Epic Games, whatnot. Just add me. 2Ks, if you're wondering. I don't know who else has my name, but they do.
But I will find you.
And I will take it. There can only be one. Highlander, battle me, bro. Whoever the other Ticking Time Tom is out there.
We're going to find you.
Right?
We're going to find you, I presume, Tom.
Right? But otherwise, you can find me at Tom Dykers on Facebook, Instagram for my tattoos, Tom Dykers Tattoos, and Anchor 13 Tattoo on all platforms.
Awesome. And I do link all our information in the show notes as well. So if you want to find us specifically, it's there. As always, guys, I'm Sean. Is it Ginger? SEAN. Is it Ginger? All one word. I'm a content creator / streamer / podcaster / metal vocalist / handsome dude. I make content on every single platform, and I stream 3 days a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday on Twitch. So if you want to come check us out, you totally can. Next week, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite indie games. I'm pretty excited about it. I even made a deal. I played this game, so Tom has to talk about my game. He was fine. He wanted to talk about it too.
Right.
We're going to be playing, to get us in the mood for spooky season since it's coming by, a game called Oxenfree, which is a horror story indie game that I loved playing. So I'm excited to talk about it. So it's a very story heavy game, so hopefully that's your guys' things.
It's really good. Maybe we'll talk about more spooky games in October.
We should do that.
Because
I call it Spooktober.
Right? There's definitely a few good spooky indie games we can talk about. So.
Oh, definitely. And I'm a big wimp. So for everyone that doesn't know, on my stream during October, the entire month, I only play scary games, and I am like the biggest wimp. So the entire month is hell for me. Like, I cry every night after I stream. It's not fun. But guys, if you are a developer and you want to talk to us about your indie game, send us an email to blockbrospodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's blockbrospodcast@gmail.com. And if there's any indie game you want us to talk about, even if you're not a developer, you can still shoot us an email, blockbrospodcast@gmail.com. Block Bros Podcast is a live podcast. We do stream every Tuesday around 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, live to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So if you want to see our beautiful faces or maybe the game we're talking about, come on by and say hey. We will not respond, but you can still say hey.
Just like go really fast, we will not respond. Solicit or
like, we need like the fast talking FedEx guy to come in and do a little.
We will not open or few them.
Not open. Oh my god! What is
that's like at the end of any fucking MTV fucking thing that you see random videos on. Yeah,
we will not open or solicit. Yeah. But always, guys, and if you have somehow listened this far into the episode and you like what you're hearing, please make sure to rate us 5 stars on any platform that you're listening to. Write us a review. Tell them how awesome we are, because it does help us generate ad revenue and makes us, makes the algorithm like us a little bit more. And at the end of the day, that's all we can ask for. And if you listen this far and you hate us, why the fuck are you still here? Honestly, makes no sense. You're really being weird about this.
Right, hung around with us for about an hour, and you're like, I don't know about these guys. Like,
these guys are a little odd. I don't know about them.
Right.
Opening music is 8-Bit Fun by the Heatley Bros, and as always, Block Bros Podcast is a Lost Cause media production. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Lost Cause Media.